I'm Dr. Maureen Ernest. I'm a thriver of childhood sexual abuse. I received my healing at Gatehouse, Toronto. 2018, I had the opportunity to start my healing journey at Gatehouse, Toronto. When I first went for the intake interview, they asked me about the history of my childhood sexual abuse. So at that time, I thought childhood means being a small little kid. So I knew I was first sexually abused at the age of 8, and also it happened at the age of 10, 11. But there was an incident which happened when I was 16. And for me, it was kind of, I felt it was my fault because I didn't say no to that person. And also, I couldn't see myself as a child at that moment because I was so tall teenager, and I was also acting like a head of the house because my father was absent, and it was during the Sri Lankan ethnic war, and my mother was very kind of a childish kind of a person who couldn't have responsibility. So I was carrying all the responsibility as a teenager. So for me, I saw myself as an adult at that moment. But after coming to the gatehouse, I realized even until the age of 18, whatever has happened, and especially the person who has sexually molested me was a adult who was much older than me. So that awareness of my sexual abuse, that incidents, and understanding that it was not my fault was the first wake up call for me, because it helped me, and because I had so much guilt thinking it was my fault. And just taking the intake only, I understood that, because I still remember I asked them, should I mention that, because it is, I was not a child, and also I didn't say no. So will it be accepted as, sexual abuse? So they said no, it is, yes, it is a sexual abuse, right? Even if you couldn't say no, that doesn't have right for anybody to put their hands on your body. So it was really something like help me to free myself. Somebody acknowledging that my body, nobody doesn't have any rights over it, because until that moment, I felt like a common property that anybody can touch and do anything they want. And I don't, as a woman, I am entitled, or it is like a anybody can do anything, I can't say anything to anybody. So that shift itself made the journey to progress in my life. And I had the therapy, like individual counseling I had at Gatehouse, which really helped me. It's more like a peer support, and but somebody listening to my story, whatever has happened, and able to there's no judgment, and also welcomed my story, was like very precious gift. It was, kind of accepted in a very healthy way, and somebody had time to listen. That really was something, a gift. So that is how the journey started at Gatehouse, Toronto. And then this I had this phase one, which was with women only, with two women facilitators, who, and all of us even the facilitators also, they were sexually abused as child, and all of us, the women who were in the group, also was sexually abused as child. And that really helped me to connect together, because until that moment I was so left out in this world. I couldn't feel that I felt nobody couldn't understand me. I was alone in my journey. But once I started my group therapy at Gatehouse, I felt that I have a family, because everything we spoke, it was the same language. The language, I mean, it's not the English, or not like that. It is like the words we speak, or the experience we had. It was so similar to everybody. So one of the biggest change happened in the group is uh, everybody, almost everybody is saying how they were so ashamed of their own body, like even to remove our clothes, because I had that very difficult thing, like I always cover myself, since the first childhood sexual abuse happened at the age of 8. I used to wear, my whole body is covered. I won't even allow anything to be shown, because I felt like if I show it, then somebody was going to come and touch those parts. So it's almost like protecting. And also, even for shower, when I take off my clothes, like, there was kind of uncomfortable. And, I couldn't appreciate the nudity. So it was a very hard journey, and able to discuss about that with others who had the same problem. It was really kind of uplifting, because we all have faced and we understand where it comes from and why we are struggling, what was the cause. So all these were like enlightenment for the my soul, myself. So after doing that, I went to the Toronto nude beach, and I spent a day in the nude beach alone by myself. And that was the key for my healing. So nobody didn't come and disturb me, and I didn't tell anybody when I went there. And when I returned back, I told my friends. And even the male friends, they were so surprised, because they said how that place can be very like disturbing, you know. So everybody was shocked. But for me, I told myself, like, I will never allow anybody to touch me. I just want to be in the nature, in the beach, with myself, completely removing and being comfortable with my own body. So that was like a change, and I was able to share my experience in the group. So the group was like a each week we meet, and it was like a big support system for me. There was nothing I now need to hide from them, and everything I was able to. And sex was something very hard to talk, and we never talk publicly about how we feel, during the sex, or sexual activity, or intercourse, or in a relationship with another person, all these things. But it was like a opening gate to talk the unspeakable in a very open way, in a safe space, with safe people who are also in the same journey, trying to figure it out. So that was the then the second phase was with men and women together. So it was the time I understood how men also suffer after the childhood sexual abuse. So it was a kind of a eye opening, because until that moment there was a finger was pointing out at the men, like they are the wrong, they are bad. But once that session started, I really recognized they are also victims, and some of them were victimized, abused by female. their own family members. So it was really helpful. And also gatehouse, after coming there, got help that because the first abuse happened by a family member. So I felt so guilty, so bad, like, to talk it out loud, because I felt like I'm going to bring shame into my own family by speaking the truth. But then I realized that this no shame, because everybody was sharing, and most of the childhood sexual abuse happens by the intimate, from the same home, or people who are very close to them. It's not from the strangers. So that itself changed my life, to see that uh, it's okay, and the family, I don't carry that family. The family, is not my identity. I am Maureen, and Maureen as I am the identity. So able to remove myself from the family, and today I am no contact with my family. But to make that journey, it started at the gatehouse. Then I also did course, the therapy session, estrangement and reconciliation, and it was also very helpful. And all those, they had special books, and each week we had special, particular topics to discuss. And we always did self care. Each session after we finished, it's all about self care. So while we started the program, when the second phase was on the middle, just started, had COVID, so we will have to change it into Zoom. So the COVID didn't affect me a lot, because I already started to do the self-care practice. So once the COVID started also, I continued the self-care. And then the third, the reconciliation part happened through the Zoom. So I never had the chance to go back to Gatehouse, and then I returned back to Sri Lanka. So I'm currently in Sri Lanka. But when I look back my journey as a survivor in Toronto, trying to live my, come out of that shame and guilt of sexual abuse, Gatehouse has played a big role in my life, and I'm so grateful to them. And check them on social media. They are very active, and they are very kind people. And whatever, I don't know currently they hold any Zoom sessions or not, but if there is something, please kindly join. You will get, the support will liberate you, and you can fly high in your life, and you will be walking as a liberated person in this world. So I just want to say thank you for Gatehouse. Thank you for all the facilitators. Thank you for all those who are had the courage to admit that they are sexually abused and started the journey. And especially one lady, she did the document Broken at Six. It was one document really inspired me a lot. And also because of the Gatehouse other survivors at that moment, we three of us did this tattoo in memory of our sexual abuse. So whenever people ask me about what this tattoo is all about, I share that I am a survivor of sexual abuse, and now I am a thriver of sexual abuse. So this is the memory I carry to show the world that it doesn't matter. We can thrive and, journey in this world. So I'm grateful that this identity became a blessing for me through Gatehouse. So much blessing to all of you, and especially for Gatehouse. Thank you.